Just move, lady. Get out the way. You're holding up traffic. Now, mister, I know you are not in the left lane driving slow. The left lane is for people who have ticket money. We got places to go. Sis, I know you just did not cut me off in traffic. Oh, just me? So am I the only one that lose my mind in traffic? Yelling and screaming at the cars in front of me like they could hear me? Well, let me make a confession to my new group of friends because my family already know it. I used to lose my mind in traffic, any traffic. Highway 280 traffic, 2059 traffic, and certainly that 65 traffic. I would lose my mind, yelling and screaming and cussing at the cars in front of me. But then one day, I had a ripple of revelation. It was not those drivers who didn't drive as perfect as me who was making me lose my mind and my peace and my joy. It was me giving it away. I was giving away my peace to strangers who didn't even know me. They didn't know my name. They didn't know my favorite color is red. They didn't know I love football. Nothing about me. Yet I was giving them my peace. Peace. You've heard the word before. You've even tried to obtain peace. Jet setting off to a tropical island to sit in a hammock while the wind blows through your hair, sipping on a margarita. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. That place of peace. But I submit to you that peace is more than a place of solitude. Peace is a mindset. Peace is a daily decision that we make when the world around us is trying to pull us off the edge, off course, off our game plan. That type of peace. So journey with me for a few minutes as I share with you a simple methodology that I came up with called the peace practice, using each letter in the word peace to help resolve any issue or challenge you may deal with in life. But before I do that, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes just for a brief second and think of something that may be troubling you now. Some of you may be facing the challenge of leaving your job and starting a new career. Some of you are wanting to start that business that's been on your mind for years. And some of you may be contemplating ending a relationship. Peace. The P in peace is for pause. Before you react, before you respond, simply pause and breathe. Here's a fact. We as humans are not designed to pause. We're designed to react. But if you can pause, even for a few seconds, you take back control of your emotions and your peace. Think about this. Some of you have dealt with it before. A coworker sends you a nasty email, and you're ready to respond, right? But before you do that, just pause. Could be a family member sending you a nasty text message. Don't respond, just pause. There is peace in our ability to pause. The first E in peace is for evaluate. Evaluation is the pathway to peace. You see, not everything around us deserves our time or our attention or our energy. When we can pause and evaluate those situations, we make better decisions. But some of us will start an East Coast, West Coast, Tupac Biggie beef over a simple misunderstanding. But if we can pause and evaluate, we're on our journey to peace. The A in peace is for accept. This is the hardest part of the journey, to accept the situation that we're in. I'll make this confession to you and tell you this story. Recently in my life, for about an 8-month period, I was stalked by someone on social media. This person had created a fake social media profile, was sending me nasty messages, harassing my friends, even sending disparaging messages to my clients. And y'all know I was ready to rumble. But instead, I paused, I evaluated the situation, and I accepted the fact that this person who saw my lens or my life through a lens of social media envied it. And so literally she would take my personal information and sign me up for dating sites, and your girl was getting plenty hits, yep. Sign me up for therapy sessions, all kind of chaos, calling my phone all day and night. But what I had to do in that situation was accept that I could not control this person's behavior. I had to accept the fact that someone seemed obsessed. I had to accept the fact that the legal system moves slow. And every day I would say to myself, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. The hardest part of your journey is accepting where you are and finding peace within. So PEAC, that C in peace is for what? Somebody said change. I think somebody said, got some honor roll students in here. Somebody said change. That's right. Change. Change is hard for many of us. It really is. So I told you about my challenges in driving. And the greatest truth I've ever told to a group of people in public is that I'm an impatient driver. I hate driving. So much so that I got pulled over by a state trooper on my way here. I got the ticket to prove it, y'all. I'm telling you. I begged him for a warning. He gave me a warning. We good right now. But listen, before I started my consulting firm for a job that I love, I had a commute that took me through the busiest part of our city. Some of y'all call it Malfunction Junction. And every day I would yell and scream at all the cars in front of me like a crazy woman. I'm ready to admit it now. Yes. But then one day I had a ripple of revelation. As I pulled out of the garage into the driveway, I heard a small voice say, change what you listen to on your way to work, and it will change your focus. And I said, say what now? And it said, change what you listen to on your way to work, and it will change your focus. And so I sat there for a minute and changed my playlist because, my normal playlist included songs like Ludacris, Move, Girl, Get Out the Way, Girl, Get Out. Look, a song that had me ready to jump out my car and fight. But that morning, I changed my playlist. And I listened to Peace by Nora Jones and Peace of Mind by Lauryn Hill and No Weapon Formed Against Me by Fred Hammond, because y'all know I believe them cars and them people were formed against me trying to get to work. But in that simple change, I found peace. You see, I could not change my route to work for that job that I love. I had to change my perspective on my way to work, and that brought me peace. So PEAC, the final E in peace is for exit. Stage right, leaving things that no longer serve us. That is very hard when we have invested in or we're most interested in those things that no longer serve us. Here's a funny story. For my 50th birthday, and I'm over 50 now, but for my 50th birthday, my daughter Danielle gifted me with a precious little Pomeranian puppy. We found him from a breeder in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We arrived and looked at him, and we said, he is so cute. He's a winner for sure, a little champion. So we named him Sabin. Some of y'all will get that on the way home. Tuscaloosa winner, champion, Sabin, roll tide. But anyway, Sabin brought us no peace in that home. Sabin would nip at our toes. Sabin would chew up furniture. Look, Sabin even chewed up a pair of my designer shoes. And Sabin had to go. But before we got rid of him, we decided to enroll him in a 6-week obedience training class. And one of the terms he learned in that class was leave it. So when he came home, he would approach an item and we would say, leave it. He'd look it up at us and he would walk away. He went toward my shoes and said, leave it. He left them shoes alone. Sabin soon knew that leaving things brought us peace. It is really hard for us to leave those things, those sounds, those voices, those people that no longer serve us. But I promise you, if you're willing to make that exit and you're willing to leave, you will find not only joy and happiness, but peace on the other side of it. So before I leave, let me feed you these final knowledge nuggets. Peace is not the absence of noise or chaos. Peace becomes a decision that we make, a daily decision that we make, that when everything around us is going crazy, we're going to stay grounded. Peace is not found on a mountaintop. Peace is not found in a perfect plan. Peace is not even a privilege, but it is that decision that we make. And when we embrace the peace practice, not only do we start to change who we are, but we soon change other people and places and policies. And I truly believe if we embrace that, we can soon change the world. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take a moment, whether that's today, tomorrow, next week, next month, and practice the peace practice. Let that be a ripple of revelation for you because you never know where that ripple may reach. Peace be with you, my friends.